Leah, thank you. Military families in Hawaii and across the nation may get better protections for safe housing. Senator Mazie Hirono joined a bipartisan group on Capitol Hill to introduce the Military Occupancy Living Defense or MOLD Act. The goal is to set health standards and independent inspections for families in military-provided housing. It's estimated 700,000 service members are affected by hazardous conditions, such as mold in their home. Senator Hirono described the ordeal of a family here in Hawaii.
They were living in housing that they experienced mold, so they alerted the appropriate people. There's mold in our unit. Nothing happened. The wife went to a doctor, and the doctor said there's mold in your system. They move out, and somebody had to clean their unit. They get a bill for $6,000 for cleaning the mold. Then they got all their possessions shipped to them, covered with mold.
The new bill would mandate that the DoD open a 24/7 complaint hotline along with a website. It would also require third-party inspections of any reported hazard, and it would punish landlords by withholding rent payments if they don't comply.